All right, let's just jump right in. What if I told you that the way you're chasing after love and success is actually the very thing keeping them away? It's a crazy thought, right? Well, today we are going to break down 7 keys that will completely flip how you attract what you want. We're talking about a huge shift, from a mindset of chasing to one of embodying.
You've probably felt this before. It's this super frustrating paradox, isn't it? The more desperately you want something, that perfect relationship, that big financial win, the more it seems to just slip right through your fingers. This happens to so many people, and it's because chasing, at its core, comes from a place of lack.
And this quote from the amazing Wayne Dyer just nails it. It gets right to the heart of the matter. Your outside world is just a mirror, a direct reflection of what's going on inside. So it's never really been about what you want. It's always about who you are being.
So that leads us perfectly into our very first principle. And listen, this isn't some small little tweak to your routine. This is a complete overhaul in your approach. The first key is this: you need to embody, not seek.
Okay, so what does embodiment even mean? Well, think of it like this. It's about getting your whole being, your energy, your feelings, your nervous system, used to the idea of already having what you desire. You start to visualize your life from that destination, not like you're scrambling to get there. You start feeling the gratitude and the peace and the love as if it's already a done deal.
And just look at this contrast here. It really shows you the massive difference in the energy, in the vibe. Seeking from a place of lack feels needy. It feels desperate because you're trying to get something from the outside to make you feel whole on the inside. But attracting from wholeness, that's peaceful. It's aligned. You're creating from this solid foundation of knowing you're already enough.
All right, next up, let's talk about the internal work. This is so crucial. If you really want to change what you attract on the outside, you first have to do the work to reframe your entire inner world.
And we're going to break this down into 3 really practical steps. First, letting go of those rigid, stressful timelines. Second, changing the actual words you use to talk about your life. And third, and this is a big one, prioritizing your own healing above everything else.
So, our second key, and I know this is a tough one for a lot of us, is letting go of the timeline. That desperate, anxious need for things to happen right now is a massive signal of lack. And the irony is, that feeling of urgency is often the exact block that's keeping your desires from ever reaching you.
There's this great story about someone who wanted a book deal more than anything. For years, nothing. Crickets. And you know why? Deep down, they weren't ready. They still needed to build up their skills, their confidence, their platform. It just goes to show you that readiness, not desperation, is what really attracts opportunity. And guess what? When they were finally truly ready, that deal came right to them.
Now for the next key, and it's all about your vocabulary. The words you speak about yourself and your life, they literally create your reality. If your language is constantly focused on limitation and what you don't have, you are actively, physically blocking abundance, because what you say is what you become.
Just feel the power of this shift for a second. Instead of saying, "Oh, I'm broke," you reframe it to, "I am learning financial mastery." Instead of, "I'm so unlucky in love," you declare, "I am preparing for conscious love." See, you're not lying to yourself. You are speaking your future into existence, right here in the now.
And that brings us to such a critical point. You have to heal before you hunt. If you just jump into a new relationship or a new business while you're still carrying all these old wounds, you are literally setting yourself up for self-sabotage. You're not being rejected by the universe, you're being redirected to go heal.
This quote just hits so hard, doesn't it? That unprocessed pain from your past, it doesn't just vanish. You end up reacting to totally new situations based on those old hurts, and you unintentionally end up hurting people who had absolutely nothing to do with that original wound.
And we have to get this clear. There is a huge, huge difference between being guarded and being discerning. Being guarded is that clenched, untrusting reaction to past pain. It actually repels connection. But being discerning, that comes from a healed place. You're still open, you're still loving, but you're also wise. And that is what invites in healthy, beautiful connection.
Okay, so once that inner work is really underway, you can start to take action from a totally new place. Our final keys are all about what it means to attract from a place of wholeness.
So in this section, we're going to cover how to stop looking for other people to complete you, how to make sure your actions line up with your desires, and a really practical one, how to physically make space for what you want to receive.
Key number 5 is a game changer. Stop seeking validation. Love and abundance don't flow to people who are looking to be completed.
They flow to people who are already whole. Your job is to build a life so rich and full of purpose and joy that anyone who joins it is just an amazing enhancement, not a requirement.
Next up is what we call energetic integrity. Basically, this just means that every single action you take has to reflect the version of you who already has what you desire. If you want wealth, you can't be acting from a place of scarcity. If you want a conscious, loving partnership, you can't be ghosting people or playing games. Any misalignment in your actions literally repels what you're asking for.
And that brings us to our final key: make space and then stay ready. You see, the universe doesn't respond to your neediness. It responds to your knowing. You have to actually prepare your life, physically, mentally, and emotionally, for the arrival of what you've asked for.
And this is such a powerful idea. Your physical environment, the space you live in, is a direct mirror of your energetic readiness. If your space is cluttered, disorganized, and unprepared, you're sending a loud and clear signal that you're not actually ready to receive anything new.
This story just makes the point perfectly. There was a woman who was single and wanted to attract a partner. She needed a new bed. So what did she do? She bought a king-size bed, not a twin. Why? Because a twin bed energetically just screams, I am alone. But a king bed, it signals, I have space, I'm ready for another person. Well, a few months later, she met her future husband. It's that simple. She made the space and the universe responded.
So we've covered the inner shifts and the outer actions. Let's bring it all together and recap exactly how you can start putting this into practice in your own life. So here it is. Here's the path. You start by embodying the feeling of having what you want right now, and you release that death grip on the timeline. Then you reframe your inner world by changing your language and healing your past. From there, you act from a place of wholeness and integrity, and finally, you physically make space for what you know is on its way to you.
Look, this isn't just a bunch of interesting information. This is a call to action. I want you to look at this list one more time and really ask yourself, which one of these keys is speaking to me the most right now? Which one can I actually start to practice, to truly embody, starting today? Your answer to that question, that is your first step toward attracting everything you've ever wanted.